hopefully I'll write a book about patriarchy from a man's perspective. Because it's very much needed. I mean, the men also suffer. However, as I said, the book is not about men, it's about women. So, any questions anyone has? Would like to ask me something about, trauma? Yes?
What idea has driven you to write this actually? What made you to write? What kind of idea has driven you to write?
So what has driven me to write this book is anger. Okay. Anger towards society, towards the patriarchal system. It's a system that favors men, which is held up by both men and women. Okay. So patriarchy is not an attack on men, it's a system.
How do you overcome that toxic family? Toxic parents.
Good question.
Like you have so many distractions in your head, and how do you focus on your studies and on your well-being too? That's a question.
Read my book. Yes. The answer is yeah. But I will answer your question. How do you handle toxic parents? You cannot handle toxic parents. Let us be honest, because we are dependent on them, and that is why it's called abuse. That's why it's called child abuse, because you are dependent on your parents. And the problem with Indian parents is, sorry to say, they are very, very narcissistic and controlling. They want to decide what you should do, what you should eat, what career path you should choose, how you should go, where you should go, who you should marry. They are not going to marry that person, but they will decide who you are going to marry. And neither will they also come to your aid when you have problems in your marriage. That will be a man or woman, it doesn't matter. Your parents say, "Neenga kalyanam pannitappa, paathukonga." And for the girls, it's even worse, because you are handling both the husband and his family. Read my book, it's there.
So, yes, there is a question. Do you think that a change can occur through reading a book?
Yes.
A change
A change can occur if you read my book with an open mind, without judging. Okay,
Yes.
It's a memoir. It's a book about my life. Okay, which I have highlighted points regarding how the system has made me this way. The system has forced me to be a strong woman. I don't want to be a strong woman. I don't want to be how I am. But the world is not allowing me to be who I want to be. In fact, I have to keep fighting. I have to be strong, which I don't want to be honest.
Can a middle-aged woman who is in a toxic marriage, if she reads this book, will she able to recover from her life?
If she's strong enough, I think awareness will come.
Yes.
Awareness will
If
come.
she reads my book, she will get ideas how to get out of her.
I have one answer for this.
Because toxic marriages, the only way is to break the marriage.
Yes,
That is
totally.
You cannot live in toxicity.
What am I asking is, if she reads the book, will she be able to change her husband to a better
You
way?
cannot change a person.
No, see.
The husband has to change. Is the husband a child? Baby. He is a grown adult with his own beliefs and his own morals.
So the thing is, for every problem, you don't need a solution. Sometimes you just need a support system.
Correct.
Okay?
Okay.
And that's the problem with, not to generalize, but usually with men. We try to the term is called mansplaining.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need to listen and just support. You don't need to give a solution. They can find a solution, you just need to support them.
I
As you
really
said, I want to elaborate on what you said a little bit. Can we change somebody? Can we change? Can she change her husband, or can the husband change his wife? No, that is not the point of marriage.
True.
The point of marriage is to find a partner with whom you and your partner is on the same level of emotional intelligence, on the same level of vibes, on the same level of energy, morals, beliefs. Okay, it is, you don't marry somebody to change them. Why are you marrying them if you don't like them? Yes, in India, I agree, forced marriages are there, arranged marriages are there. Okay, and most of the marriages are forced, whether we accept it or we don't. Okay, in that case, you don't have a choice, but there's one choice you can make.
Divorce.
Yes. Yes, it's divorce. And getting a divorce for your own peace and your own happiness is not wrong.
True.
Because you are not damaging your mental health and the other people around you. And I think that is the most selfless act you can ever do. Rather than people saying, stay, many people told me, stay in your marriage for the children's sake. What was the reason for my
Yeah, what will
divorce?
people say?
Children.
My
Actually,
children.
it's best to
Yes.
stay away for the children's sake for you to have a divorce. That's what I feel.
Because my marriage was so toxic. I don't want my children to learn that.
Exactly.
How am I a good mother if I stay quiet, take the abuse? What am I teaching my children?
True.
What am I teaching my son?
Exactly.
This is how you're supposed. These are the morals you're supposed to learn. And what am I teaching my daughter? These are the things you're supposed to
Adjust. Endure.
And say
endure, which is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
And thankfully, both my children have a mind of their own. And not to toot my own horn or to, I treat my children as individuals. Yes, I gave birth to them, but they are both individuals.
Yeah.
And they have chosen who they want to be in life. And my son has a lot of women friends, not girlfriends. Okay? Friends. They all come to him for advice. And he is in the right educational field.
Direction.
Psychology. So all the women are coming to him for advice. Like, please tell us what. And he's like, Mama, all these women are coming and talking to me. I mean, don't they even feel like as a man I will give them wrong advice? And I said, no. Because of how you treat them.
True.
You're respecting their views, you're treating them like a human being. So obviously they will come to you. So, yes. Any other questions?
Yeah, I want to applaud you for the courage you've, shown to write this.
Yes, it takes a lot of courage
Yes.
to speak and tell your story to the world, to strangers, to read about your very intimate and very, very personal experiences. Thank you so much.
And how did the pain transform you into a better human being or a person with strong mental strength or whatever? How that transformation happened? That the pain should have taught us something more than feeling bad. It should have taught us something in life.
Yes.
How you become how the transformation occurred.
So the transformation, of course, my transformation is fueled by anger, as I said. So being angry about injustices, being angry about inequalities and suffering and oppression of women. And I'm talking mostly about women because I resonate with this. Okay? And of course, the LGBTQI community. Of course, I do resonate with them as well because they more or less suffer the same way as women. And children.
Yes.
Men, I'm so sorry, but you have a lot of privileges that women don't have, such as safety. Okay?
And you're saying, can I ask? Yeah, so from a
I
toxic.
didn't answer.
Sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So yes, it was fueled by anger, and how I came out of that pain is by setting boundaries. Okay? You have to set boundaries with your abuser, and if it means to cut relationships with them, please do it. I have cut relationships with my mother because she was my abuser. I don't talk to her. I do not encourage her into my house. I do not entertain her in any way. I don't regret it. Okay? And that does not mean that you forgive. I don't forgive her for what she has done. She knew fully well what she was doing. She knows. See, when I hit you, don't I know I'm hitting you? I know that. If I am saying something rude to you, oh, you look so ugly, why is your hair like this, or why is your eyes so dark? I know that I am saying it, and I know that I'm making you feel bad about it. So I do not forgive her. And I will never forget what she has done. And therefore there is a boundary set. She will never be allowed to get in touch with me. Even if she dies, I will not visit her. I will not go for her funeral. So this is how I looking out for my ex-husband as well. I do not have any contact. Correct? So setting boundaries. So you can set boundaries wherever, however, or to whatever extent you feel safe. You don't have to set a boundary like how I have set a boundary. But boundaries is definitely the answer.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
last if I may.
Okay,
Can
she-
anybody
1 minute.
She on. Next.
I'll take a question.
Yeah, so you almost answered for that. But see, my point is, there is a girl who's in a toxic relationship, and she wants to come out, and she has come out and gone to her parents. But that is more like a help for her than me, because the parents don't support the ideology, and she has to become financially independent, and she has 2 little kids. So what would you advise her, like how to take it ahead?
The answer's here. I have been in the same situation. Okay, but in short, financial independence is the answer.
Okay.
Every woman needs to have her own money. You can choose to be a housewife. Please, if that makes you happy, go ahead. Be a housewife. But have your own money. Do something as a housewife. Don't depend on anybody. Whether it's your parents, whether it's your husband or your children, never be fully dependent upon anybody. Always try to earn your own money. This is the only way you can save yourself.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can anybody read this book apart from women?
Of course. I did not write it exclusively for women. Please read my
No,
book.
I'm
No, you
asking
can write
a
it
depressed
for
man or depressed guy or depressed girl. Asking doesn't.
Anyone can read my book. Okay. Why you are depressed, I don't know. But you can read my book and you can see this book is women will resonate with it and women can find pointers on how to get themselves out of situations. For men, you should read the book and you should understand how patriarchy brainwashes you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and forces you to do things to women that you think is right because you have been told it's right. And but you don't understand how it affects the women. You think, yeah, this is tradition, this is culture, you are supposed to do this. But always ask yourself one question. Okay, if the roles were reversed, would you accept it?
We have to. If we have to, we have to accept it.
That is
They will
again,
understand.
that is, yeah, thank you for saying that. You have to accept means you are being oppressed and abused. When you are forced to accept, I will talk about something called marital rape, which everyone here knows what is marital rape, right?
Yes.
But do we call it marital rape? No.
No.
Wife says it is my duty. Who said it is your duty? But you have been told it is your duty. And what men have been told? You are entitled to your wife's body. You are not entitled to anybody's body except your own.
Yes.
So, I just gave a simple example which is very common. 90% of our children are born through marital rape. It is true.
It's tragic.
Okay, it is, but nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to accept it because it's tradition and culture,
And because it's India.
and because it's normalized. The more you normalize something, the more nobody cares. Look at me how I'm dressed. One simple example. Okay? I'm not dressed indecently. I'm dressed the way I feel comfortable. I like this dress, I like the way I look, I wore my makeup or whatever. Because I like it. I like the way I look in the mirror. Correct?
True.
It gives me confidence. But my neighbors,
Yeah. resilience.
That's the thing. In India, we write report cards for everyone. Excel tasks.
CCTV cameras.
So do I podcast?
Problem they are the best fictional writers. So like, இந்த மாதிரி dress போட்டுவாள் அந்த மாதிரி பொண்ணு இருப்பா.
Correct.
They make their own stories.
Make them authors.
And in fact,
All
an
authors.
11th standard kid came and asked me very innocently. I do not blame the kid. She asked me, Auntie, why are you wearing dresses? You're married, right? You have 2 kids, right? I said, yes, dear, I have 2 kids and I'm married. I'm not exactly, not technically, but yes, married. And then she was like, but then why are you wearing dresses? How can you wear jeans? That day I was wearing jeans. How can you wear jeans? And you should wear chudidas. I said, who told you that? And then she said, no, that is how it is. That is how it is supposed to be. Married women should wear only chudidas and saris. I said, no, dear. You can wear whatever you want. It is what society has told you. Your parents might have told you, your teachers might be saying it, and everybody else around you might be saying it. I'm wearing jeans. Is anything happening to me? Nothing. I'm the same person, right? So you can wear whatever you want. Of course, for her, I don't know how it is.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay. One last question from me.
Come on.
Okay. So when you talk about these stress and traumas and everything, there's always something called as a trigger point. No matter what we do, let's say you took it out your anger on the book, you went through, let's say, therapy or whatever you did, there will always be this thing called a trigger point. Okay. For example, let's say if it's an issue related to, let's say, divorce. You see a movie like, let's say, Kadal also, the Mohanlal movie. When that things will trigger, and or quote scene part of it will start triggering you, right? So how do you deal with those triggers? Let's say, for example, you see your abuser, someone who had abused you, let's say your mom. You meet her after a few days somewhere in public. How will you react?
Listen.
How will it affect you?
Very good question. Thank you. Every abused person is triggered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you will be triggered no matter how many years have passed since you have been abused or you have seen that person. Triggers are always there, will always be there till you die. Okay, and the way I have handled it is by setting boundaries.
Right.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
You have to set boundaries. Okay, you have to set firm and clear boundaries. My mother knows she cannot talk to me because I will not talk. My mother knows she cannot come to my house. She cannot ask me for anything. That's a clear and firm boundary set. She knows it. She will not ask me. She will not call me. She will not text me. Okay, so that is one way. And abuse is abuse. And it needs to be addressed no matter what your relationship with your is.
Yes.
And when it comes to trauma related to rape, it's not that simple. Okay. In such cases, therapy is recommended. In patriarchal societies, therapy is considered a very shameful thing, and that's why most people never heal. And healing is simply being able to handle your trauma response better in a more self-empathetic way and with love and kindness towards yourself. This doesn't mean that you forgive and move on. You don't have to forgive if you don't want to forgive. I didn't forgive my mother, you never forgive her. Okay? And you must never forget what you have been through. Because once you forget, that's when you normalize it for yourself and for others. True.
Nice.
Beautiful. Thank you.
What did you take away from that? Yeah? Great. So now we know what happens with ribs. Yeah? So how it makes you stronger. One way is by writing it down. So I usually observe as an editor, I observe some things in books. Okay? So So one thing I liked about Belinda's book was there is this character in this book called the Doctor. Every other character had a name. It might be a real name, might be a different name, I don't care. But it had a name. This the Doctor did not have a name. I was reading the book, I was like, why this guy doesn't have a name? Does she have some legal issues with him or something? But eventually, towards the end of the book, I found out that that person actually passed away. That's the reason he's just named the Doctor.
Okay.
So the sensitivity, even when we write such harsh topics, when she was talking about, I put in my anger. She could have easily written that guy's name. But she didn't. Because that's sensitivity. So what I'm trying to say is, even that anger that you have, you need to channelize it in a constructive way. Yeah? Like other incidents also she wrote about, let's say, some persons who eventually turned out to be fakes. But initially she writes them as a good character. Because that she did see something good in them initially. Okay? So that's the way you actually write a book. Okay? You don't, yes, you pour in your anger, but you don't say that stupid guy, that I'm that big. Yeah? You pour it out in a much more constructive way. That's what I'm trying to say. For people who want to better their mental health by writing, you don't write slur words, you write it in a more constructive way. Write what it is and how you felt rather than aggressive ways. Yeah?